Welcome to Infinity Capital, everyone. This is Raj. Today we are going to analyze Indian Bank. So it's one of the PSU banks with a market cap of 19,000 crores. Stock is trading at a PE of 4, price to sales of 0.40. So promoter holding 79%. That is the government of India. Okay. What's interesting is it's trading at roughly half of its book value, right? So according to me, I find it at an attractive rate to initiate a buy. So I've been buying I've been basically buying at these levels and looking to add more, as it sort of consolidates around this level. So let's look at the credit rating of this bank. They have roughly around 8,000 crores of credit in terms of tier 2 bonds, tier 1 bonds, So all of that is either CARE AA plus or AAA. So the rating is stable. Most of the ratings were reaffirmed, revised. So this rating was revised from stable. So this was revised from revised from CARE AA to AA plus, right? So overall the ratings are pretty good. So Indian Bank, what happened essentially, there was an amalgamation of Allahabad Bank into Indian Bank. It's the 7th largest bank with roughly 9.28 lakh crores of business. They have around 6,000 branch network. Okay. Apart from that, the bank has witnessed significant increase in distributable reserves and capital cushion. So their capital adequacy ratio improved to 15.88% in September 21 as opposed to 15.71 in March 2021. It was around 13.27 in April 2020, right? So these numbers, the capital adequacy ratio has been becoming better. So what could go wrong in this company? So basically Nnpas are going up, or they don't go down, or they are above 5.5% on a sustained basis, decline in profitability on a sustained basis. So if that happens, then I will be out of the stock. My view on this stock is for the next 2 to 3 quarters. I'll be closely monitoring the Nnpa levels and the bank growth to figure out if I would like to continue to hold my position or get out of it. So the government infused around 12,000 crores in Allahabad Bank, and they did a fresh equity of 2,500 crores in Indian Bank, right? So total infusion has been around 16,427 crores combined in 2 years. So that's a lot of money that they can use for growth. Indian Bank raised equity around roughly around 1,650 crores by way of QIP. So when you come here on screener, so they did a QIP in 2021 in June, right? So this is what the credit rating is talking about. There has been decent growth in the past 3 years, largely supported by retail, agriculture and MSME. So I need to find out what is RAM segment. RAM has RAM makes for about 56% of the gross advances. So I'll be doing more investigation on this. Retail has been struggling a little bit. Agriculture has done pretty decent. So post amalgamation with benefits of high CASA ratio. So Allahabad Bank had a high CASA ratio. So that has helped them to maintain a CASA ratio of 42.3%, which is pretty good. It's pretty much in line with some of the private banks, right? CASA ratio is maintained at 40.86 as of September 2021. So this is pretty good. So well capitalized public sector bank, total capital adequacy ratio is at 15.7% as we saw earlier. Then they did a QIP. So QIP is important, guys, because if they don't have money, how will they lend? Money is very important. Money is the fuel for these banks. So they need to raise capital in order to do business. Once that raised capital translates into Profitability, so that will, that in turn will be good. The stock might go through a re-rating and the price might go up, right? So profitability has increased. FY21, bank reported loss of FY20 bank reported a loss of 4600 crores, so this year they did 3000 crores. This is also the reason why I'm looking at the stock. So as per the structural liquidity statement, the bank has no negative cumulative mismatches across all timelines for up to 3 to 5 years. So this is excellent, and the bank has an excess SLR holdings of 43,000 crores. So overall, the metrics seems to look good. Now let's look at some other things. Investors, obviously they offloaded 10%, so that is the reason the DIIs have bought significant amount between March to September, right? FIIs, they're pretty much the same. Okay, let's look at the chart. The PE ratio, the median PE of this stock is around 10. Stock is trading at a PE of 5, so we can easily look at a double from here. So even if the stock reaches a PE of 10 on an EPS of 39.18, the trailing EPS of 39.18, that comes to around 390. So that's too far-fetched, but in the short term I expect the stock to double. So let's look at the profitability as well. Okay, annual profitability, if you see March 2021, stellar numbers, and if we compare it to 19, the revenue has doubled. If we look at the profits, they have recorded highest profits last year, and this year the profits are much higher, right? So this is the reason why I was looking at this bank. Let's look at their NPA, GNPA and NNPA numbers. So GNPA, the GNPA has actually gone up during COVID. However, the NNPAs have basically remained same, right? So going forward in the next 2 to 3 quarters, what I would like to see is the GNPA, NNPA going down. If that happens, there could be a re-rating in the bank. That in turn, will help push the prices higher. If the GNPA and NNPA start deteriorating, then it will be a problem. So we'll look for an exit. If we look at the revenue, the average revenue per quarter was around 5,500, 6,000 crores. That revenue has doubled, right, since June and September. Okay, net profit, they were actually posting losses in some of the quarters, and they are now doing profits of around 1,100, 1,200 crores. So these numbers are pretty encouraging. Sequentially, the numbers are pretty all right between June and September. And September to September 21, the numbers are not that great. However, the profitability is much higher. So this could have happened maybe, because last year they had more provisions, so some of the provisions may have been released, right? So this could have happened because of that also. Going forward, we'd like to see what sort of provisions are happening, what is the GNPA and NPA trajectory, right? So these are the things that I'll be looking forward to. I'm going to keep this for the next 2 to 3 quarters at least to see how it is performing. Bank Nifty, banks have not performed in this rally. They have not participated in the rally, massive rally that has happened in Nifty and all the other stocks. So I believe that banks will be the big performers in the next 2 to 3 quarters. All right, let's look at the technical chart and see what's happening here. On the left, you will see we have the 200-day moving average, which is trending upwards. The 50-day moving average is trending upwards, right? And let's look at the weekly chart. So on the weekly front, what we'll see is the stock was trading between this range, between 95 and 150, and then it broke out of it, and then it basically came down again, right? However, this fall was an extremely low, relatively low volume, right? What's happening here is the stock is going up on higher volume and falling on lower volume, so that is a good thing, right? So this stock basically traded between this range in August 19th. If you see 1 2 3 4 5, so between July and September it traded between 160 and 200. However, after that there was a huge fall in the stock. So if you see post this small consolidation, the stock actually fell around 80%. So there's a lot of pain for people who are stuck here, and when the stock came back into the zone, it started selling off. It started from here only, guys. If you see, stock came here, reacted, it came here, it reacted again, back into that zone, reacted. So now we can take a calculated bet that once the stock starts consolidating over here and breaks out of here, we can very easily see levels of around 288 300. So that will be my first target. And if the stock does pretty well, we can probably see targets of 400 as well, 390 400. But I don't believe that's going to happen right away, probably in the next 2 to 3 quarters, and see how the numbers are coming up. What sort of strategy am I making? So earlier I was buying the stock over here. Okay. Currently I am looking to accumulate the stock between 137 157. This is the range that I am looking to accumulate the stock. Okay. The stock has given a correction of around 30% from its recent high. However, if we see that basically it's trading between this range, and the trend is higher, it's going up, right? So this makes a good price point where an accumulation makes sense in this price point. Also, if we see the 200-day moving average is here, so that stock is trading pretty close to it. So I'm expecting, even if there is another small correction in the market, I'm expecting it to basically trade between 120 150 levels if another correction happens. Overall, the markets have made a decent recovery this week. So let's see how that recovery translates into upward rally in stocks. So this was the analysis on Indian Bank, guys. Remember, this is not a buy sell recommendation, it's an educational video. Thanks a lot for watching.